before.
Gosh, I just love that. The whole thing. I just love it. Absolutely. In the spirit of July 4th, 1776. Joining us now is Newt Gingrich, former Speaker of the House, Fox News contributor, great friend, and mentor to so many of us. Newt, you know, I just went on this thought. You've got Mr. Trump here, who is, in a sense, reimagining capitalism. He's rejuvenating capitalism. He's doing it with his tax cuts and deregulation and drill, baby, drill, and reciprocal trade and so forth. And I think it's working. And I think we are right. We're heading into a major economic boom. I'm talking 5% growth, could be 6% growth. But Newt, here's my question to you. How long can it last? He's going to instill this into the Republican Party. How long can it last before they start jumping ship and going this way and that way? Trump's a winner. Will the party be a winner when Mr. Trump is no longer at the in the White House?
Well, I think the jury's out. If President Trump spends 2026 as effectively as he spent 20 minutes last night, then I think by the time we get to the election, most of the Republican candidates and most of the Republican volunteers will have learned the lessons. Remember, Reagan's great strength, Thatcher's great strength was ideas, getting people to understand that a better world was possible, that it was a principled better world, not just random luck. I think that President Trump, I hope that last night was a sign that we're going to get more 20-minute speeches and not the kind of 90-minute wandering stories that we got in Pennsylvania last week. Because people who want to be part of a movement have to have a leader who is teaching them where the movement's going, what its principles are. And I would hope that next year that President Trump will give a series of very structured speeches around key areas to literally educate the base of the party and the base of the movement. The fact is, I think we're going to be in a boom. I think that we're going to gain seats next year. I'm actually very optimistic. But I think your point, which is fundamental, you know, Reagan in the end didn't change the Republican Party. Thatcher in the end didn't change the Conservative Party. And so the question is, by the way, by contrast, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who had, after all, 3 full terms before he passed away in office, so he had over 12 years. But Roosevelt did change the Democratic Party, and it's never actually gone back to the pre-Roosevelt model.
I love what you said about his speech last night. It was 19 minutes, and it was concise. And he had some numbers. I'm so happy. I've been saying to these guys, use numbers. Numbers are on your side if you know how to use them. And I hope they refine that. Reagan used numbers all the time to his advantage. But the bigger point, Newt, you know, I'm hoping he does what you say. He goes out there next year. He gives these concise, direct speeches. You know, people understand this stuff he's talking about. Take-home pay, for example. You know, that was a Reagan line. People understand that. It's so fundamental, the whole kitchen table issue. And I want to see his lieutenants, you know, J.D. Vance, cabinet members. And I was talking to Jim Jordan about this just before you. Members of the House, they want to keep the House, fine. They've got to go out there and repeat and use Mr. Trump's arguments, his policies. Don't make stuff up. Don't think just because you have a distant relative that hates Trump, you have to walk away. Stay on his message. His message is terrific right now.
Well, look, I think there's a great opportunity next summer. The president clearly wants to have kind of a brand new, never before midterm convention. I think if they do it as an online participatory convention where every American can participate in one way or another, and you could literally have millions of people tuning in, you could find ways for people to be sending in ideas, you could do a whole range of things to really have a grassroots up Trumpism rather than a big speech down Trumpism. I think he has an opportunity next summer to profoundly reshape not just the Republican Party, but the whole fabric of American politics, isolating the hard left, convincing the independents that, in fact, this is the right direction, and convincing honest, decent Democrats who look at things like this billion-dollar scandal in Minneapolis and can't possibly be for it. I mean, these are things where there's a chance here to have a pro-American Democratic Party that is repulsed by some of the things going on and have a genuine 30-40% of the Democrats decide that their future is America's future and their future is better off with Donald Trump.
Yeah, I agree with you about that, but I think they're destined to keep drifting to the socialist left. The other thing I just want, before I lose you, Newt, you've been writing about this. I think, next year, July 4th, 2016, July 4th, 1776. I think this 250th anniversary of the Declaration is a big thing. It's a very big thing. And I think the president, you're a scholar. The president should talk about it, what the meanings were, what the founders were doing, who they were. By the way, those guys were all free market followers of Adam Smith. They were all free market followers of Adam Smith. They were the earliest supply-siders, the founders.
Well, Walter Isaacson's written a great new book called The Most Important Sentence Ever Written, which is the opening of the Declaration of Independence. And it's a great way to ask yourself, what did it mean? Why did they say we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, among which are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? I mean, these guys had thought deeply about the nature of freedom and the nature of where your rights come from. And Isaacson's done a great job. And it's the kind of book which could really be a centerpiece for a lot of conversations next year.
I'm going to get it. I love that. I love anything to do with that first sentence. I just love it. I know Mr. Trump will go there. I know you're going to go there. I'm going to go there, too. I like your convention idea, too. Most of all, I want the GOP to learn from, Trump's victories. He's doing the right thing. Anyway, Newt Gingrich, great to see you. And if I don't, Merry Christmas.